The 19th Academy Awards, 1947. In this ceremony, the general public was allowed to buy tickets for the first time. And the nominees for Best Picture were Henry V.
Upon St. Crispin's Day!
In all of history, in all of time, no era has ever produced such unforgettable drama and daring. The dazzling pageantry and the untamed courage of a man who risked a kingdom to win the love of a woman and the heart of a nation.
A British Technicolor film adaptation of William Shakespeare's play, which cost $2 million, making it the most expensive British production at the time. It's also worth mentioning that this was Sir Laurence Olivier's first take on directing. It's a Wonderful Life. Despite being a box office disappointment, this Christmas family fantasy classic was Frank Capra's favorite of all his films. It also ranked as the #1 most inspirational movie of all time by the American Film Institute in 2006. The Best Years of Our Lives. This was the highest-grossing film in both the US and the United Kingdom since the release of Gone with the Wind. The Razor's Edge. The Yearling.
MGM's Children's Matinee presents the famous story of a boy named Jody, the Yearling.
This one cost a staggering $4 million and produced a profit margin of only $451,000, despite being MGM's most successful film of 1946. And the Oscar went to The Best Years of Our Lives.
Great personalities who bring a memorable experience to glowing life. Samuel Goldwyn's masterpiece. The screenplay was written by Robert E. Sherwood, Pulitzer Prize-winning playwright of Petrified Forest and Idiot's Delight. From this, William Wyler, who won the Academy Award for his direction of Mrs. Miniver, wove a pattern of motion picture magic, with Myrna Loy and Frederick March living through the heartwarming second bloom of love. The best years of our lives.
The first film ever to reap the Big Three: the Oscar, the BAFTA, and the Golden Globe Best Picture Awards. The 20th Academy Awards, 1948.
Did you have a happy birthday, Oscar?
Thank you all. Yes.
And thank you all for being with us tonight. And I hope we may be together again for many, many years to come.
This year's nominees for the Best Picture Award were Crossfire, the first B-movie to receive an Academy Best Picture nomination. Gentleman's Agreement, based on Laura Z. Hobson's best-selling 1947 novel of the same name. Great Expectations, based on its iconic 1861 eponymous novel by Charles Dickens. Miracle on 34th Street.
That is the greatest picture I have ever made.
Another perennial Christmas favorite, which ranked #9 on the American Film Institute's 100 Most Inspiring Movies of All Time. The Bishop's Wife. And the winner was Gentleman's Agreement.
When Laura Z. Hobson's great story, Gentleman's Agreement, first appeared serially in Cosmopolitan magazine, its 20 million readers were startled at its daring. As a book, Gentleman's Agreement still leads all bestseller lists month after month. And now, as a motion picture, Gentleman's Agreement is accorded the highest honor a picture can be given. Here we see its producer, Darryl F. Zanuck, receiving the Academy Award for the Best Picture of the Year.
The only Best Picture Oscar winner, starring Gregory Peck.
Well, face me now, Miss Wales. Come on, look at me.
It also was Fox's top-grossing picture of 1948.
Same flesh as yours, isn't it?
Well, this is the big night of the year. It's Oscar night.
The 21st Academy Awards. 1949 was the year the ceremony was moved from the Shrine Auditorium to the Academy's own theater, primarily because the major Hollywood studios had withdrawn their financial support in order to address rumors that they had been trying to influence voters.
Now, there have been voices in the industry raised against the Academy.
The nominees for Best Picture were Hamlet,
Hamlet, the world's most famous play, now brought to the screen with filmic mastery. The camera capturing the superb artistry of the finest actors of our time as they portray a story of a man's torment, his indecision, his love, his rage and his revenge as foul crimes are burnt and purged away.
Another Shakespeare project by Sir Laurence Olivier. Johnny Belinda.
Belinda, searching, ever searching for happiness and understanding, but ready to fight with primitive fury to protect what she loved most.
Based on the 1940 Broadway stage hit of the same name by Elmer Blaney Harris.
First time a man kissed you, wasn't it?
The Red Shoes was voted the 9th greatest British film of all time by the British Film Institute in 1999. The Snake Pit. The Treasure of the Sierra Madre.
Up into the forbidding majesty of the great Madre Range go men, their pasts buried in silent secrecy, their futures hidden in the mystery of adventure. Men drawn together in their search for gold. Dog, soldier of fortune. Howard, the old-timer. Curtin, the youngster. And Cody, the intruder.
This Western was one of the first American films to be made almost entirely on locations outside the US. It's one of Stanley Kubrick's favorite films. And the Oscar went to Hamlet.
And the winner? Hamlet, J. Arthur Rank, 2 cities fame.
The first British film to win the Academy Award for Best Picture. And the Shakespeare film that has received the most prestigious accolades.
To be or not to be? That is the question.
The 22nd Academy Awards. '50s Oscar nominees for Best Picture were A Letter to Three Wives. This film was based on John Klempner's novel A Letter to Five Wives. Yep, 2 wives were lost in the adaptation process. All the King's Men, based on the 1946 Robert Penn Warren novel. Battleground.
I'd be glad to repeat it. The answer is nuts.
The first major studio combat film to be made since the end of World War II. Its success effectively relaunched the combat film as a viable Hollywood genre. The Heiress. 12 O'Clock High. One of the first Hollywood movies to deal with the psychological effect of war on its soldiers.
Because 12 O'Clock High is good, powerful entertainment. I urge you not to miss it. Thank you.
And the Oscar went to All the King's Men.
The winner, All the King's Men, Robert Rawson, Columbia.
Sir Robert Rawson is coming to the stage to accept the award for All the King's Men. Here's Mr. Rawson.
I'd like to thank all of the people who contributed to this picture all over again, and all of you. Thank you again.
The story of a ruthless big shot, Willie Stark.
And for the last time, I tell you that nobody, do you hear me? Nobody will tell me how to run this state.
His manners, his morals, and his women.
This was the last film for more than 50 years to win the Academy Award Best Picture that didn't also win an Oscar for either writing or directing, until Gladiator came in the year 2000. That's all, folks! Subscribe and activate the notification bell so you never miss a beat. Check out other releases on the playlist on screen and stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching this episode, and we'll catch you in the next.